How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to another video talking about the Philadelphia 76ers just over a week away from the NBA draft here and the massive news coming out that Ace Bailey has cancelled his workout with the Sixers. Ace Bailey, who was projected to work out with us this coming Friday, have a dinner, is all being cancelled. And I just wanted to get into it. A lot of news coming out today, not only about Ace Bailey, but about Paul George, the Sixers core of the big three. A lot to digest here. But obviously, we'll start here with the main news that Ace Bailey will not be working out with us. He has not worked out for any team yet. It was very likely when we got the third pick that we would take him as he is considered a top three talent, but it's looking like there's a good chance now that we're not going to be drafting Ace Bailey. And despite this report coming out, as you can see here, the Sixers have not exactly ruled him out ruled him out completely. But I think there's a very unlikely chance that we take him at this point. But I just wanted to get into some news here. This article from ESPN came out the other day, and I want to just go over this part real here that coming out of the combine, there were a lot of concerns regarding Ace Bailey's preparation, his mentality, his focus, whether or not he's going to be a good fit wherever he lands. And the longer this seems to go, the less likely he's going to get drafted by us because obviously this report comes out today, but there's been a lot of rumors recently in regards to whether the Sixers are going to take a VJ Edgecombe, and he has looked like the favorite for at least the last couple of weeks now. Having come in already completed a workout, sitting with Sixers hierarchy, that he's going to be a great two-way player for us. And I do like him as a player. My only concern is that we do have a lot of undersized guards, especially if you want to bring back Quentin Grimes along with Tyrese Maxey and Jared McCain. They're not exactly tall, these guys. So I'm worried about the size, but perhaps if VJ can eventually transition to a traditional point guard, which I'm not sure if he can, I like the pick a lot more. But in terms of an actual fit, I do like Ace Bailey more, but I don't think we're going to be taking him. My biggest concern with Ace Bailey is this whole narrative that's coming out about stardom, that he does have perhaps this all-star talent that he wants to pursue, but coming to a team like Philly that's got a nucleus of Embiid, PG, and Maxi, is Ace Bailey really going to be wanting to take a back seat and come in as a guy that's going to be told you've got to shoot threes, take a couple pull-ups, and play defense, and essentially be a fifth, sixth option type of guy? I'm not sure, based off all the reports coming out, that he's exactly going to be that. And we're trying to win a championship now, even though that seems unlikely, but we're also trying to retool for the future. So it's going to be interesting. So according to Brett Siegel, there have been a few rumors coming out today. So of course we know Ace Bailey's camp does believe he's a top three prospect. That was the consensus from us fans when the lottery happened, anticipation to the lottery, that he's a top three. We all thought he'd be a top three pick in this draft. What's also come out today is that the Sixers have been high on Dylan Harper and apparently have offered a couple first round picks in addition to the third pick in order to move up. And the Spurs haven't budged. So that's an interesting development that's come out as well today. And I would love Dylan Harper, and I would be willing to give up a couple firsts to him. I just don't understand the fit for San Antonio. They've already got an abundance of guard with De'Aaron Fox and Stephon Castle, so I can see why the Spurs would trade back, but it is looking like Dylan Harper is going to end up there. So what I've also read this afternoon is that apparently Ace Bailey wanted a guarantee from Philly before the workout that he was going to be selected at number three, and of course the Sixers were not going to promise that, and that's what I think has led to the cancellation. So here the 76ers have yet to promise any prospect yet. Of course, that's good stuff. That's good business from the Sixers. You want to assess the options available. You're not going to guarantee one guy, but of course with the draft just under a week away now, it is looking like the Sixers are either going to take this pick or they're going to trade back, which essentially leads on to the next rumor that the Sixers have had interest in trading down to the fifth pick, which is the Utah Jazz, as long as they can essentially get off this Paul George contract. So there's another report here that the Sixers and the Jazz have discussed a trade. So this came out this morning. It's currently afternoon here in Australia. Obviously 4 hours ago, this came out. I can say an hour or two ago, this report did come out. I know it says 4 hours, but the Sixers plan to run this nucleus back. And I think, given what Daryl Morey's been saying, I think this will happen because I do genuinely believe if these three are healthy, which is the biggest if ever, from a talent perspective, if these three are healthy, it's worth keeping them together. Personally, I would look to get off Paul George because if you can get off Embiid or PG, I think it's worth it considering their injury history. And I personally would prefer role players around Maxi and Embiid and start to pivot towards this Maxi future that we plan to have when Embiid's done, whenever that may be. So in terms of a trade, I've put something together here. Obviously, the third and fifth pick, you can assume they're in this trade. But essentially, John Collins would be the main guy. And then it's take your pick at Clarkson or Sexton. I think it'd be more likely we take Clarkson because I think Sexton's probably got more value and he is the better player. So I'm not sure if this deal would get it done. But as a fan, I think this is the perfect fit. Getting Clarkson that can fulfill that six-man role. And getting John Collins, who's probably a perfect fit next to Joel Embiid at a stretch four that can rebound, that can shoot. I absolutely love the fit. And it does mean Gershon Yabusele is no longer an essential to bring back. And I'm not sure if the Sixers will still have cap space to get anyone else, but they could look at getting perhaps not a wing or something. But that's what's going on there. There is a potential rumor the Sixers could trade back. But I genuinely do believe that they are going to run back this big three, and I do believe they're going to take VJ Edgecombe with the number three pick. It's going to be interesting what happens in the next week, but I think the fact that Ace Bailey has not worked out for any other team, there's a lot of skepticism and there's a lot of questions around, what he's actually trying to do. It could be a very similar Cam Whitmore situation. We saw him slide, obviously for different reasons, but. Yeah, it's just going to be interesting to see what happens. I'd love to know your guys' take about who the Sixers would what they should do, whether they should trade down or take whoever. Do they even take a risk on Ace Bailey? Because Ace Bailey, he could live up to it, or he could be a bust. So it's going to be interesting. But that's what I got for you guys. Obviously, massive news. So appreciate it you for stopping by, and yeah, take care.